Once again, from DPL Surveillance Equipment. Today is a little bit gloomy, but it's a very, very nice day today. There's a few things going on that are going to make it, I think, an even more nice day as compared to what it ordinarily would be. I reduced one credit card that we had a balance on. I just reduced it to zero, so we're happy. We're excited. We don't typically carry a lot of debt anyway, but it's just a symbolic thing for us to always, at least as much as possible, maintain zero balances on credit cards. Zero debt is what we enjoy at the Henry family here, and whenever we have a situation where we have zero debt and our Bitcoin investments and such seem to be going up, and we have optimal health because we work out and we exercise and we eat right. When you have a number of different things going in a positive direction, all at the same time, it's a really good day. And for those of you who are trying to pay off debt, who are trying to free yourself from financial oppression, and you want to get away from the fiat currency world where everybody's lying and cheating and rigging and committing scams at the highest levels of government, banking, management, C-suite offices, whatever. It's a nice reprieve to be able to say, I got an alternative. We have an alternative economic model in the crypto industry. We have transparency. We have decentralization, we have peer-to-peer, we have censorship-resistant technologies, and we don't have excessive government spending. We don't have out-of-control quantitative easing and then quantitative tightening, and we don't have these boom and bust cycles where you have severe depressions and recessions and all of these things. The only thing we have right now in Bitcoin and the crypto sphere is volatility, and that's because we're trying to get this nascent, very young industry off the ground. But the good news is it's 10 years old, doesn't seem to be in jeopardy as far as I can tell, as far as government regulation, law enforcement, or anybody else doing anything to affect the long-term viability of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies or blockchain in general. So that's good news, okay? Now, and overall, in the economic sphere of things, same thing as usual. Wells Fargo laying off, I think, 26,000 people. Okay, that banking institution has been pretty much inundated with scam after scam after scam, headline after headline after headline. And now 26,500 people are going to be hitting the unemployment department and looking for other jobs and such because of the scandals that plague that bank. But they're not alone. American Express just got caught red-handed. Fines and penalties in relation to forex currency trading for its customers. J.P. Morgan Chase, everybody. We're going to talk about this in the article, which I'm going to get to as soon as possible. Now, our business, by the name, my name is Monty Henry, owner of DPO Surveillance Equipment. We run a full-service surveillance and security equipment company. We have lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products. We have 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support. We have the largest inventory of items that not only can you buy, but you can rent or lay away as well. We have the largest media library consisting of articles, podcasts, blogs, demonstration videos, like this podcast that I'm recording today, which is probably going to be part 1 of part 2 or 3. We'll see how far we can get. We do accept Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We're trying to contribute to the early demise of MasterCard and Visa and American Express, the financial industry as it is now. We're trying to make sure that we expedite the demise of that industry. The credit card issuers, the credit card processors, the banking institutions, all of them. We're trying to get rid of them with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and blockchain in general. So do your part and help us out and get some Bitcoin, get some cryptocurrencies, and learn what it's like to have zero debt, appreciating assets, and a type of wealth and financial sovereignty that you don't get in the traditional fiat world. What else? Let's get into this article because it's a long article, and I'm going to have to break it up probably in different parts. So the name of the article is actually Probes Reveal Central Probes Reveal Central U.S.-based international banks have sticky fingers. Again, probes reveal central, U.S.-based, and international banks all have sticky fingers. Now, let's just get into the article. Okay. The news marks the second time this year that a son of a former African president has been named in an investigation involving defrauding his country's central bank. In March, Angolan prosecutors said José Filomeno dos Santos, a son of the country's long-term leader, José Eduardo dos Santos, was a suspect in an illegal transfer of $500 million or $500 million from the central bank to the United Kingdom. The funds were eventually frozen by UK authorities and returned to Angola. Mr. Filomeno dos Santos has said he is cooperating with the investigation. The son of the former president, the former central bank governor, and 15 officials are under investigation. Authorities in Liberia said they were investigating the disappearance of $104 million in newly printed banknotes intended for the central bank and a possible fraud equal to 5% of the gross domestic product. The Justice Ministry on Wednesday confirmed that 15 officials, including the son of former President and Nobel Prize winner Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and the former central bank governor, were under investigation and had been banned from leaving the country. So we have two different situations, two different sons of the central bankers, or former presidents of the country, were looked like it was too enticing to keep their hands off of the country's money, and indeed were doing their best to get as much of that money as possible into their own pockets. Moving right along. Liberian officials said the banknotes, more than 16 billion Liberian dollars, were ordered by the central bank from overseas printers but disappeared between November and August. The money, packaged in canvas bags and 20-foot-high sealed containers, was cleared through Liberian customs between November and August, but never made it to the central bank's headquarters in the capital, Monrovia, the official said. The government said the matter was being taken extremely seriously because it had national security implications. The disappearance is a blow for Liberia's crisis-addled economy as it recovers from the commodity price crash and devastating Ebola epidemic that has claimed more citizens' lives than in any other nation. Liberia, a Virginia-sized nation founded in 1847 by freed slaves, is rich in diamonds, oil, and timber, but remains one of the world's poorest nations with a gross domestic product per capita of $729, according to the International Monetary Fund. Some analysts said news of the missing funds threatened to poison the political atmosphere just 9 months after the government's first peaceful transition in 7 decades. The expectations are high after last year's election, said Musa Ziamo, a Monrovia-based independent analyst. Masses are very anxious, and many are facing economic hardship. Ms. Johnson Sirleaf, Africa's first elected female head of state, won the Nobel Prize in 2011. She was widely credited for restoring order to a country devastated by recurrent civil wars that ended in 2003. But Ms. Johnson Sirleaf, known to Liberians as Ma Ellen, was also criticized for nepotism following the elevation of two of her sons to senior government positions and failing to fight corruption. Justice Minister Frank Musa Dean said the money had been ordered during the administration of Ms. Johnson Sirleaf, who was succeeded by former football star George Weah in January. A spokesman said the central bank is cooperating with the investigations but declined to comment further. Former central bank governor Frank Weeks, who left his position in March, said he was not aware of any money that went missing during his tenure. Ms. Johnson Sirleaf's son, Charles, couldn't be reached for comment. On Thursday, investigators poured through central bank records to determine whether they had established the full impact of the missing funds. Liberia doesn't have its own mint, and the central bank is the only body with the power to order new currency. Authorities discovered the disappearance from customs records that showed the shipments had arrived and been cleared but were never placed in the custody of the central bank. Several senior police officers in charge of security at the ports are among those under investigation. Moving right along, Bank of America to pay $30 million in benchmark manipulation settlement. The bank was accused of trying to help its own derivatives positions. Bank of America Corp will pay $30 million as part of a settlement with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission related to charges that the bank tried to manipulate a benchmark for interest rate products over a span of 6 years. The CFTC said Wednesday that Bank of America tried to manipulate the U.S. Dollar International Swaps and Derivatives Association fix, or ISDA fix, to help its own derivatives positions. It also accused the bank of false reporting. Bank of America traders, according to the futures regulator, attempted to manipulate rates to benefit specific trading positions and influence reference rates and spreads ahead of the time the final rates were published. CFTC Director of Enforcement James McDonald said in prepared remarks that the regulator's settlement with the bank is its 9th enforcement action tied to manipulation with this benchmark. On Tuesday, the CFTC announced that Intercapital Markets, LLC, would also pay $50 million as part of a settlement with the regulator. We have significantly enhanced our procedures to detect any inappropriate behavior, a Bank of America spokesman said. That's probably complete bullshit. International Bank agrees to pay U.S. $70 million to resolve CFTC charges that it attempted to manipulate ISDA fixed benchmark. Deutsche Bank Securities Incorporated agreed to pay a fine of $70 million to resolve charges brought by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission alleging that from at least January 2007 through May 2012, it attempted to manipulate the U.S. Dollar International Swaps and Derivatives Association fixed benchmark. So this is another company attempting to rig the same Swaps and Derivatives Association fixed benchmark. Okay, moving right along. The CFTC claimed that DBSI engaged in such violation through the acts of some of its traders who caused the firm to make false submissions in order to impact the fix in a direction to help benefit the firm's trading book. So, again, this is Deutsche Bank Securities Incorporated. Okay. Moving right along. American Express gave small businesses one rate, then secretly raised it. For more than a decade, American Express Company's foreign exchange unit recruited business clients with offers of low currency conversion rates before quietly raising their prices, according to people familiar with the matter. Amex Foreign Exchange International Payments Department routinely increased conversion rates without notifying customers in a bid to boost revenue and employee commissions, the people said. The practice, widespread within the Forex department, was occurring until early this year and dates back to at least 2004, the people said. The practice targeted mostly small and mid-sized businesses. The people said a group of customers that accounts for about a quarter of the company's credit card revenue. Amex, one of the largest small business issuers in the United States earlier this year, said it hoped to become the leading payments and working capital provider for small and mid-market companies. Amex said it doesn't have contractual pricing arrangements with most of its foreign exchange customers, We have training, control, and compliance oversight and believe that our transactions are completed and reported in a fair and transparent manner at the rates which the client has authorized, said spokeswoman Marina Norville. On Monday afternoon, Ms. Norville said the company takes allegations like these very seriously and will conduct a review with an external party to determine if its standards are being met. If we find that we fell short of the mark, we will fix the problems and take appropriate actions to make sure it doesn't occur, she said. Although the Forex business is small, accounting for